When you heard that it was Cam Payne that they were targeting, how surprised were you that they went through all these hurdles to get this guy back here?
I'm actually not surprised. One, because of the buyout market options like D'Angelo Russell, Cole Anthony, and then Lonzo Ball. I was intrigued by the thought of it, but we know that's not the Lonzo Ball of like 2 years ago. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. The buyout market wasn't great. The two-way market obviously wasn't great as far as like guard situations. They got rid of McCain, so they had to get somebody, and he must have had an impact on the locker room previously, as well as his performance throughout the end of that season. And then in the Knicks series, when they needed him, made sense. Okay, let's use our resources to get a guy we like. We know how he's going to play. We know how he's going to play with Knicks system. We know he can play with some of these guys that we've had on the team before. Ultimately, I wasn't surprised, and it's not the like best move for a fourth guard, but it's better than what the options were on a potential buyout market.
No, I definitely hear you there. Now, the one thing I'd say too, because I feel like a lot of people have been quick to kind of point this out, love Cam Payne. Sixers fans love Cam Payne. Electric regular season innings eater, not really a postseason guy. My counter to that, and I thoroughly enjoyed Cam Payne when he was here. I enjoyed watching him. He was a great guy to talk to, obviously. When you look at his potential contributions to this team, I think people just tend to get the wrong idea when they think about the buyout market. And you're looking for Marco Bellinelli, you're looking for Ersan Ilyasova, guys who are going to potentially play a role in the playoffs. That's not what this is, right? It's so rare that you get a guy like that. You're looking for guys who can complete your regular season team, guys who can maybe take some of the burden off of some of your stars, which, like you said, there's a little bit of that McCain to Cam Payne in terms of potential spark guard. I actually think he plays that role a lot better than McCain does, at least at this age. He's not a better player than McCain by any stretch of the imagination. He's quicker. He's a better facilitator. I think they're both kind of subpar players defensively, so you're not really seeing a whole lot of a difference there. And when it comes to shooting, McCain's the better shooter, but I kind of trust Cam to get hot a little bit more, to situationally kind of knock down those threes. Looking at that, I think it's a quality addition. And you talking about the other names, none of those guys are postseason guys, if we're being honest. Those are all guys who would get hunted. And I know Lonzo's got the reputation of being a good defender. He's been terrible this year. Like, I felt like everyone calling for Lonzo Ball. That's no offense to Lonzo. He's had a hell of a career. It's a shame what the injuries have kind of done to it for this season, at least. Hopefully he can continue to recover and get better. He doesn't have it this year. When you talk about who Philadelphia could have potentially added, I get Lonzo kind of fits that Nick Nurse mentality a little bit more, but they kind of got that in some of their two-way guys. Cam Payne, I think, is the right kind of guy that you needed. And just a reminder to Sixers fans, this is about the regular season. This is not about the postseason. And on top of that, Maxey, VJ, and Quentin are not coming off the court in the playoffs.
But do you think Maxey plays 40 minutes a game now? He'll play the whole game. We'll let him, he'll play 48 minutes.
Exactly. So when you look at that trio of players, right, there's not a lot of time for more guard. And they're going to go bigger in the playoffs. If Justin Edwards makes an appearance, they'll play a little bit of two. Kelly's going to play some two, right? You could possibly even see Paul theoretically playing two in these. And again, these are very small intervals that we're talking about, because there's only going to be a few minutes that they're going to need another guard out there, because you're talking about three guys who are all playing well over 30 minutes a game in Quentin Grimes, Tyrese Maxey, and VJ Edgecombe. So you look at a guy like Cam Payne, maybe you need him for 2 minutes, 3 minutes here or there. He can do that, and that's perfectly fine. So anyone complaining about the signing, honestly, I'm kind of happy with it, because again, it's not only is it like a familiar face for Sixers fans who they really like, and I think it's really good for the fan base. Not that it makes up for other things that may or may not have occurred, but it at least will help the fan base and the locker room a bit, I think, to have that kind of familiar face, that well-liked face. He was not only well-liked among the fan base, the players liked him too, and a lot of them are still here that played with him. So I think that's great. I think he fits the mold of what they need, and I think that that's going to be good for the team morale overall moving forward, which is definitely a plus.